Imagine you're driving through the vast, rolling cornfields of the American Midwest. The sun is setting, casting a golden glow over endless rows of green stalks. It's a peaceful, almost timeless scene. But what if I told you that beneath the soil of one of these fields, a secret was hiding for over 150 years? A secret so large, so out of place, that it would rewrite a chapter of American history. Today, we're re-digging into the incredible true story of a massive ship found buried under a Midwest cornfield, and what its discovery revealed is truly unreal. It all started in 2004, near the small town of Malta Bend, Missouri. A farmer, just doing his routine work, noticed something strange. His land, usually flat and predictable, had an unusual depression, a shallow trough stretching across his cornfield. For years he just plowed around it, another quirk of the land. But curiosity finally got the better of him. He decided to do a little digging, expecting to find old farm equipment or maybe some buried rocks. He found something else entirely. Wood, massive, thick timbers that were clearly not from a barn or a fence. They were curved, joined together with giant iron bolts. He had stumbled upon the ribs of a giant. Word got out, and soon, a team of amateur historians and archaeologists led by a man named David Hawley descended on the field. They started with ground-penetrating radar, and the image that appeared on their screens was breathtaking. It was the unmistakable outline of a ship, a huge one, buried 8 feet deep, more than a mile from the nearest river. The immediate question on everyone's mind was, how on earth did a steamboat get into the middle of a cornfield? The answer lies in the wild, untamed nature of one of America's most powerful rivers. Back in the mid-19th century, the Missouri River was the main highway to the west. It was a treacherous, constantly shifting beast, full of sandbars, snags, and unpredictable currents. In 1856, a brand-new, state-of-the-art steamboat named the Arabia was making its way upriver. It was a floating palace, packed to the gills with 200 tons of cargo destined for the frontier towns. Think of it as a 19th-century Amazon delivery truck. It carried everything you could imagine: tools, clothing, food, even French perfume and Italian porcelain. It was bringing civilization to the wilderness. On a September evening, just as dusk was falling, disaster struck. The Arabia hit a massive, submerged walnut tree snag. The impact was catastrophic. The snag tore a huge hole in the hull, and the mighty steamboat began to sink fast. The 150 passengers and crew scrambled to escape. Miraculously, everyone made it to shore safely, with the exception of one poor mule who was tied to the deck. Within minutes, the powerful current of the Missouri River swallowed the Arabia, pulling it down into the muddy riverbed. And then, the river did something incredible. Over the next century and a half, the Missouri River changed its course, as it often did. It shifted its channel more than a mile away, leaving the sunken Arabia high and dry, buried deep beneath layers of silt and soil, which eventually became a fertile cornfield. The legend of the lost steamboat faded into memory. Fast forward to 1988. The Hawley family and their team of treasure hunters, armed with old maps, journals, and a whole lot of determination, were ready to bring the Arabia back to the surface. It was a monumental undertaking. They weren't just digging for a few artifacts. They were trying to excavate a 171-foot-long steamboat. They had to bring in heavy equipment, including a 100-ton crane. They drilled a series of wells around the site and pumped out 20,000 gallons of water per minute, just to keep the hole from flooding. It was a race against time and the elements. On November 26, 1988, after weeks of relentless digging, they finally hit the main deck. What they found inside was a perfectly preserved time capsule. The cold, airless mud had acted as a perfect preservative. They unearthed wooden crates still sealed, their contents untouched for 132 years. They found jars of pickles, still green and crisp. They found beautiful patterned textiles, leather boots that looked like they were made yesterday, and bottles of champagne still ready to be popped. It was a breathtaking snapshot of life on the American frontier. The sheer variety of the cargo was astounding. There were thousands of tools, hammers, saws, axes, and nails, all destined to build new towns. There were crates of dishware, elegant china that pioneer families would have used for special occasions. They found children's toys, marbles, and tiny porcelain dolls, reminding us that families, not just rugged adventurers, were heading west. One of the most poignant discoveries was a crate of French perfume, the scent still lingering after more than a century. It spoke of a desire for refinement and beauty, even in the harshest of environments. This wasn't just a collection of old stuff. It was a window into the past, revealing the hopes, dreams, and everyday realities of the people who were building America. The discovery of the Arabia completely changed our understanding of life on the frontier. Historians often thought of pioneer life as drab and purely functional, but the Arabia's cargo showed a different story. These people weren't just surviving, they were living. They wanted nice clothes, good food, and small luxuries. They were building a society, not just a settlement. So what happened to this incredible treasure? The Hawley family knew they had something too important to sell off piece by piece. They painstakingly cleaned and preserved every single one of the over 200,000 artifacts. They then did something amazing. They opened a museum in Kansas City to share their find with the world. The Arabia Steamboat Museum is unlike any other. You can walk the full-sized recreation of the ship's deck, see the massive paddle wheel that once churned the Missouri's waters, and gaze at display cases filled with the incredible, perfectly preserved cargo. The story of the Arabia is a powerful reminder that history is not just in books. It's literally all around us, sometimes buried right beneath our feet. It's a story of disaster, but also of incredible preservation and discovery. It is a testament to the relentless power of nature and the equally relentless spirit of human curiosity. From a mysterious dip in a Missouri cornfield emerged a treasure trove that brought the 1850s roaring back to life. It revealed that the past is never truly lost. Sometimes it's just waiting for the right person to start digging. So the next time you see a quiet field, you might wonder what secrets it holds. The story of the steamboat Arabia proves that you never know what history is waiting to be unearthed. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as amazing as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible tales from the past, and let me know in the comments what you think is the most fascinating artifact they found. See you in the next video.